Okay, this tutorial is for the part-to-whole grid portrait that we'll be doing in class. You're going to take 9 pictures of a subject, but in parts, and put it together to make one whole portrait. So to begin, we have to do a little bit of math, so bear with me here. I'm going to scroll down. Okay, so what we're going to be making, let's scroll down even further, is going to look something like this, except with a picture in each box. So it's a 3 by 3 picture grid. Total of 9 pictures. We're going to make our pictures square. They're going to be 2 inches by 2 inches square. So now we have to do a little math to figure out how big should this document be. So if each picture is 2 inches across, right here, and we have 3 pictures going across, 1, 2, 3, how much total space will that take up? 2 times 3 is 6 inches. Okay, however, we're not going to put our pictures right next to each other because I feel that looks weird. It's nice to have a little bit of a gutter or a border between each one, and we're going to make that little border 0.25 or 1/4 of an inch. And it's going to go here, 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 and here, and the same horizontally. So if each border is 0.25, and we have a total of 4 borders going across. Look again. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. 0.25 inches times 4. This one should be easy because if you think about quarters, you have 4 quarters. That gives you 1 inch. Okay. Well, now we need to add these together because we have 6 inches of picture space and our 1 inch of border space. So 6 inches plus 1 inch equals 7 inches. And the nice thing about making these square, remember they're 2 by 2 square, we don't need to do the math again because the number 7 inches is going to represent our vertical dimension as well. So we're going to make a new document in Photoshop that's 7 inches by 7 inches, and it's going to be 300 resolution. Okay, so let's go in Photoshop and do that. So I'm going to go to File, New. For the width, 7 inches, the height also 7 inches, and the resolution 300. And I'm going to say OK. Alright, so now I have a nice square piece of paper essentially to work with. And if you notice, I have a bunch of pictures opened up here as well. Now they are not going to make sense because they're just random pictures that came with the computer, but there's 9 of them. And we're going to put them in here. But first we have to crop them, and also I'm going to put on a grid that will help us line them up. So at the top of your screen, I want you to go to this little thing that looks like a corner of a ruler here and go to Show Rulers and Show Grids. There we go. Now your computer should be set to default to put each of these little gray lines here 1/4 of an inch apart, which means that our first picture we said was going to have a 1/4 inch border on the side and the top. Your first picture is going to go something like that. Okay, so I'm going to get out of there. Let's look at all of our pictures. I think it's easiest to work in a view where you can see all the pictures at once because it might help you decide which pictures belong where. So I'm going to go to Window, Arrange, Tile. There they all are. And then I'm going to click on one picture. Let's go with the chrysanthemum, and I'm going to zoom out, Control minus, or use your scroll on your mouse, so I can see the whole thing. I could do that again and again and again, or I can go to Window, Arrange, Match, Zoom, and it will match the zoom from the chrysanthemum picture onto all the other ones. Okay, so now I'm going to crop this picture. I'm going to go to the crop tool. My width, 2 inches. I'm going to press Tab to jump over because it's faster. Height, 2 inches, and very important, we need our resolutions to match on every single one, 300 pixels per inch. Now you are going to need to plan ahead when you're shooting so that you know they will fit in a square, because you don't want to chop off somebody at the wrist or have to like recompose your picture because you're fitting it in a square now. But since these are just sample pictures, I'm going to say OK. I'm going to grab my Move tool and I'm going to drag it and drop it in. Now watch that again. Let's try it on the jellyfish. Crop. The numbers stay the same. Decide what part of the jellyfish I want. With the Move tool right here, you click and hold on your picture and you drag it. Don't let go of your click until you see that little plus sign down on your Untitled 1 document, which means now it's going to add it to that one. Okay, So I'm going to do that again and again. I'm not going to make you watch. I'm going to pause here and we'll come back when I have all my pictures on there. Okay, I'm going to show you the last picture because I want to show you what you should do after you're done dropping them all in there. You can start closing these up to give yourself more room to work with, but it's going to ask you, do you want to save? I would probably say no, because otherwise it's going to save that crop. I'm going to say no. Okay, I think I need to do one more picture because I only have 8. So let's go to the sample pictures. There we go. The tulips that was missing. So if you want to drag and drop from this view, you have to grab the Move tool, bring it up to this dark gray tab, which is your other document you have open, bring it down, and drop it in. Okay, from here you're going to start rearranging. So you're going to look on each layer. So my layer 6 was the lighthouse, and you're going to set them one box in on each side here and keep them spaced evenly. Nice thing is we're snapping to this grid, which kind of feel like as you're setting your picture down, it kind of jumps and connects to those lines. So keep doing that again and again. You might be deliberate about where you put them, or maybe you're going to put them wherever it just visually looks best to you. And keep going. Maybe you want to put one that shows maybe the whole person in the middle, but it's totally your choice. When you're done, it's going to look like that. And then you can go down here. If you don't like white as your background, go to solid color. Now this needs to be down below your, let's back up. Okay, so the last thing you want to do is add a solid color layer to make the background a different color, because otherwise it's just going to be white. So you go down to the black and white circle here, new adjustment layer, go up to solid color. Now because I was on layer 1 when I did this, it put the color fill layer right above it, which is why you don't see this picture right here. I just filled it in with white, but we can always move it later. So for now I'm going to pick a color that makes sense. I can just randomly pick one and just visually see what looks best, or I could choose one from the picture. Like if I really want it to match this exact yellow, I can click on the yellow in the picture. Try not to go too crazy with it. You don't want it to distract from the picture at all, or the pictures, so make sure you pick something that makes sense. Black's, you know, it's always a good fit, or even a neutral gray. White's fine too. Your choice, but pick something that adds to your composition. So I'm going to go with black. I'm going to say okay. It covered up this picture because I need to move it. So if that happened to you, look down here in the color fill layer. I'm going to grab it. I'm going to drag it below layer 1 until I see that black line show up between layer 1 and my background, and I'm going to drop it there. And then I'm going to save it as a JPEG, and that is your finished product.